Good morning and welcome back to math class with Mr. Kura. Today we're going to be starting a new unit, Unit 3, where we're going to be talking about linear equations. Before we get into linear equations, we're going to review some things about a coordinate graph or coordinate grid. So a coordinate grid is what you see here. Whenever you're graphing anything, the technical name for it, we call this a coordinate grid because we can, the coordinates are like your 5, 4. That would be your coordinates, how to place points on your grid or graph here. So let's talk about a few important things here. So first of all, if we go down here, coordinates. What are, quadrants. What are quadrants? So let's go up here, and the different quadrants, you can see the graph is broken into 4 parts. So we call those quadrants. Now, the way these work, this is quadrant number 1, quadrant number 2, quadrant number 3, quadrant number 4. These are the 4 quadrants of the graph and how they're split up. So those are our different quadrants. The axes, so there's an x-axis, and it's labeled here for you. X-axis right here, and y-axis. So let's do it like this. We'll do the x-axis in red. There's your x-axis. It always goes side to side or horizontally like that. And in blue, we'll do the y-axis. And it always goes vertically up and down like that. That's the y-axis, x-axis. All right, now there's a point on the graph called the origin. Does anyone think they remember what the origin is? The origin is this point right here in the middle of the graph, the very middle. That's called the origin. And the coordinates of the origin would be 0, 0. We'll kind of scoot that down here. So the origin is has the coordinates are at the point 0, 0. Now, y-intercept and x-intercept. What is y-intercept and x-intercept talking about? So let's draw a line on our graph here and talk about what those locations are. So if I draw a line here, if that's my line on my graph, there are an x-intercept and a y-intercept on there. The x-intercept is talking about where does the line cross or intercept the x-axis. So your x-intercept would be right down here, which that point would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your x-intercept would be -6, 0. And remember, with your coordinates, it's always x, y. So your x value and y value. Now your y-intercept is talking about the same thing, except for where does it cross the y-axis? So it crosses the y-axis right there. So your y-intercept would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, also 6. 0, 6, x, y. I move 0 places in the x direction, right? I don't move left or right, just 0, and then I move up 6. Or down here, I move to the left or the negative direction 6, and then I don't move up and down at all, the y direction. So that's how where our coordinates come from. And we talked about an ordered pair is x, y. Now, one other thing we will discuss here is we might be given a point. Let's say we were given this point here and asked to find its coordinates. We kind of did that with x and y intercept, but remember it's always going to be x comma y. So to get here, x, where's my x value? My x value is, let's see, my x value is right here. Right, and my y value, like that. You can kind of think about extending these out. So what's x at that point? I have to move over 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my y, I have to go down 2. So my coordinates there would be x comma y, x comma y. So that's how we find a point. Let's do one more point like that. What if we had one, let's put it up here. So if we had that point up there, let's do the same thing, just kind of extend that to our x and y axis. So here this would be negative, so negative 1, 2, 3. And then this would be positive going up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this point would be x is negative 3, y is 8. So that's our review of the coordinate grid. Once again, thank you for spending time in math class with Mr. Kura, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.